Hello everyone and welcome to the Gunpla Network. I'm the Spicer, and this is the recap to episode 2 of the Mobile Suit Gundam Witch from Mercury television series. This episode is brought to you by Space Crimes. They're like crimes, but in space. Anyway, the episode starts pretty much at the end of the last episode, recapping just a little bit of the fight between the Delons and the Aerial Gundam. So we get the kind of main crew here, the book guy, fancy guys on the other side of the scene. But we have Shahid here, who's actually important. He's like, I guess, the closest equivalent would be kind of like the student council president almost. That's kind of cool. I mean, he actually does stuff this episode, so it's cool to see him. But he looks very serious. Supporting crew here in Haro are like, he doesn't actually have a registration number we recognize, but there's one that's kind of close. Wink, nod, prologue people. Anyway, so they're trying to figure this out. We get to see the cool feather scene play out again, and it's actually really nice from this angle. We get to see them kind of explain they explain the same thing with the groom thing from a different angle, and you get to see like the Ariel's hands. I'm pretty sure this was in this last episode, but I just noticed, like, look at those excavator claws on the edge of the finger. Like, that makes a little bit more sense to, like, how a Gundam would, like, stop itself by, like, clawing into the ground if it's being pushed back or whatever. I just like pointy fingers. I think they're cool looking. And look at that cinnamon roll face of, like, me? Suletta's the best. Anyway, another great Suletta face. She's like, oh, okay, I don't know about this marriage thing. But Delling Jr.'s like, don't worry, I'm not going to listen to my dad. I hate my dad. The Space Fuzz rock up, and they are not happy, bro. They're like, hey, we've got our mobile suits and our cool little space symbol for Space SWAT. We're here to arrest all of you, except for you, Delling Jr., because no one really cares about you. But Suletta, you're definitely getting arrested. And she's like, oh no. Her face is very confused, but also like, I know this is not good. But Delling Jr., she's like, don't worry, I got you, babe. I'm going to be a good wife, fiance person and stop this. I'm a bird mushroom person. And then she's like, I got this, don't worry, put my hand out. She like yells at the dudes, kind of does a pouty face, and then they're like, you have zero authority, why are we going to listen to you? She's like, damn, you're right. And that's kind of how the scene plays out. We kind of cut into nothing super important. But we do get the interrogation. So, wait, hold on. This is not the right interrogation scene. Hold on a second. Let me just, hold on. There we go. Now we got the right interrogation scene. We got Suletta being all sad because, you know, she's being arrested and interrogated. And this guy is just not a nice dude. He's a little mean. And just keeps asking the same question because he wants a different answer. And Suletta's like, I'm not going to fall for that. I've seen too many Netflix documentaries. We're in space. Netflix is free in space. Anyway, she's big mad. She's like, I'm not a Gundam. I'm not a witch. I'm not Setsuna FCA. Please let me go. We get the big CEOs meeting. We got Space Bezos here. We got the rest of the Space Amazon crew. We got Space Musk being mad because his mobile suit got wrecked. He's big sad. It's probably going to hurt his bottom line. He's like, we got to destroy this thing because this is 100% a Gundam. And everyone's like, I don't know about that, but this does seem mad sus. And they're like, well, what is it? Can we figure it out? We got, nose plug dude here just really being done with it. Then Delling pops in. He's like, hey, we're having a tryout because I need to feel important. And then we cut to the next scene. School is happening. This is probably the most least eventful part of the episode, but we get Delling Jr. being a bird mushroom person. We get this girl, maintenance girl, mechanic girl, getting her phone back because she lent it to Suletta last episode. That's how she got onto the field and got the Haro bike, I guess. And this dude's like, listen, you're Earth trash. If you do this again, we're going to expel you. And we get to see a bunch of Earth discrimination over the next little bit. We get to see the main crew here. We get casual Shahid being like, hey, other dude, are you into the Gundam girl? And he's like, nah, I'm just kind of interested, but not like that though. And that's kind of the scene. Look at those eyes though. Look at that sad, pouty anime boy eye, man. Anyway, they're going through, they're doing things. We got Delling Jr. here being a bird, trying to fix her bird nest. These guys rock up because they're like, hey, Chippity Jr. told us to fix this, but he's getting beat up by his dad right now because he's real sad about it, losing and stuff. Anyway, they're doing their thing, and there's one particular instance, one specific timestamp I gotta pull up because we did it, boys. Hero Yui is back, except this time it's about tomatoes and not Relina Peacecraft. Tomatoes, superior, let's go. There's a couple of lines in this that I'm like, this was meant for us. This was meant for Gundam people. Anyway, Hero Yui Reincarnate is back and just, saying, don't touch my tomatoes. We have a whole bullying scene that's not really all that important, but bullying happens. Delling Jr. gets real upset because her dad's like, I'm not going to talk to you. I've got more important stuff to do. And then we get another background character literally just doing his job, trying to survive, and our girl here is not having it. We get a certified gamer moment. Look at that. Twitch chat live. Let's go. We get Chippity Jr. here getting slapped. Well, eventually we will. There we go. We get Chippity Jr. getting beat up by Chippity Sr. / Space Musk because he made the company look like a fool in space business, and, well, that's not the Space Musk way. So, he gets slapped. He's not happy about things. He's big upset. Anyway, big space trial time. Look at this person we definitely don't know standing under Delling, and, this is just, power play after power play between these two. Delling's like, I am the boss, and she's like, oh, I got some things up my sleeve, quite literally. So actually, very interesting point to this, not even trying to be funny. Her justification for this makes a lot of sense, because Business Shahid here is like, hey, the data we pulled from the fight is kind of similar to that of the Gundam system. And she's like, well, it's not the exact same, though. It doesn't match 100%, so you don't really know that it was Gundam or a Gundam. And her justification for this is that on Mercury, the weather is real bad. So she has this thing on her face, and she's like, we have to use drone technology to mine the resources on Mars. That's why our drone technology is more advanced than everyone else's, and why we were able to build the aerial. Actually, kind of a decent justification. She actually has a backstory instead of just relying on, you can't prove it's a Gundam, and then that's kind of the end of it. Even Nose Tube Guy calls her out. He's like, you can't prove that it's not a Gundam. And then she's like, well, you can't prove it was. And he's like, damn, you got me. Okay. Anyway, Delling is not having it. He's like, it's a Gundam if I say it's a Gundam. And she's, like, okay, whatever. I'm going to take my arm off, explain the Mercury thing. Space Musk gets a free arm. It's like a t-shirt cannon, but in space. Anyway, definitely not Suletta's mom's like, thank God someone else is here. This big space is very awkward. Anyway, look at Delling Jr. being such a bird. She's being a bird. She's being real mad. Anyway, we get the reunion of our favorite couple here, our fake forced fiancé-ness, even though the conditions that Delling Jr. makes is like, if we win, I will marry Suletta. And if we lose, I'll do whatever you want. So this is almost kind of a weird win-win, almost. I mean, I guess he can't politically marry her off, but Delling's got other things. Anyway, she's like, hey, you got to win in the aerial, because if not, you're going to get expelled and maybe die and assassinated or whatever. And the aerial is going to get scrapped. So you got to do this. I'm big angry. I'm very determined. You got to save the aerial. And she's like, what? God, Suletta's the best. Love Suletta. Anyway, it's all here, and we get the outro. Another great episode. This one was much more in line with normal Gundam, less happy-go-lucky, more dumb politics. I'm into it. I will say, though, I kind of hope we get a little bit more levity in the next episode. I kind of liked the first one. But anyway, let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this episode, and I'll see you next week.